Super Mario Brothers movie passes $53 million at domestic box office. John Leguizamo not happy with Super Mario casting. Capcom may be in works to bring another one of their products to the big screen. Is The Rock reaching for straws? He's looking to reboot Moana. Harry Potter getting a reboot. Is it needed though? Fantastic Four having a little bit of trouble with the script. New guy hired on board to fix things. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the ESE Files. It's your host, Bogus Bird, and today, our news entertainment, The Muse. We got tons to talk about. Sit tight. Let's go over these articles. First on the list, we got the Super Mario Brothers movie by Illumination, just released last week, and it is doing amazing in the box office. Amazing numbers. Illumination delivers one of the top 10 biggest Wednesday domestic box office openings in history. It released on a Wednesday, and it is estimated to gross at $141 million during its extended 5-day debut. Did you go watch Super Mario movies? Did you like it? Did you go for your kids, or did you go for you? It was for you, right? I know it's both for me. I'm kind of using my kid as an excuse to go watch the movie. I haven't had the chance to go check it out just yet, but I plan to this week. And it's a win-win, really. It's something for my son and my daughter, and for me as well, because, well, I grew up with Super Mario, and straight up, like, I do like Illumination. They're a fun studio. They put some good movies in there. The Despicable Me, fantastic franchise there. I do watch a lot of these because of my kids, but they're very good. They are good. They're good kids movies, you know. I do enjoy them, and I think the humor and the animation style that they're going, it's a little different than, you know, what Mario uses, but it looks great, looks phenomenal. I've heard great reviews, but if you pull up the Rotten Tomatoes here, the tomato meter is 56%, but the audience score, 97. Hey, I don't always look at the Rotten Tomatoes when I choose the movies that I want to watch, but you do have to wonder, right? Like, does it suck? Is it too kiddie? I mean, of course it's geared at children, right? But at the same time, you kind of want something with a big name like Super Mario to succeed, right? You want it to do well. They hired on the AAA actors, you know, Jack Black, Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Keegan, Seth Rogen. They went big, right? And you would expect this film to do well. I do want it to do well. Most reviews that I've seen and read, everyone's very happy with it. It's very fast-paced. The story's pretty simple. But it's fine. It's a Super Mario movie. I haven't seen it for myself, so I will go do that. However, the one thing that I do keep hearing is Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong sucked. Like, apparently he didn't even try a different voice. Like, it's just him reading the lines, and he does his infamous Seth Rogen laugh. That's what he does, and on Donkey Kong, and I can't imagine. I'm gonna look for that scene because, oh man, it's gonna be horrible. It's going horrible. It really makes me think Bebop is gonna do the Seth Rogen laugh. You know, it's gonna happen. Watch, it will. Ah man. But back to Mario though. It's doing great in the box office, which is fantastic. It's almost, you can pretty much say it's a guaranteed sequel. It's coming. It's nothing announced yet, but believe that. It's happening. However, one person that you cannot count on to go watch this movie, we got Luigi Mario, the man who played Luigi in the live-action Super Mario movie back in 1993. I ain't gonna lie, this is a guilty pleasure movie for me. I haven't seen it in years. I do remember it not being great, but it's got its moments. Maybe it's just a soft spot for me because that's my era and that's my time period, and fond memories. But man, no, it's horrible. It's not completely accurate to the source, and they kind of do their own thing. There's a whole story behind that, but let's save that for another day. For now, though, let's go back to John Leguizamo. So he is refusing to watch the Super Mario movie because there's no Latin actors voicing anybody in this movie. Now, I'm a Latino myself. I can see where he's coming from, where he's fighting for us. He's fighting for the Latino. He wants there to be more Hispanic representation in Hollywood, in movies, and that's great. I think that's awesome. We do need somebody to try and make the change, He points out that sometimes in Hollywood, they cast white actors to play for Latin roles. I mean, technically, I don't have too much of an issue on it myself, personally, but it does kind of beg to differ, though, on the other side of the coin, right? There are Hispanic actors out there that could fill that role. For him to say that he's not going to watch this movie just because there's no Latinos voicing a character, kind of you're overdoing it, bro. I respect what you're trying to do, and I'm rooting for you, man. But for that reason alone, it's what about the Asian actors on here? What if they're like, oh, there's no Asian actors in Super Mario, or there were no Australians voicing anybody here? I mean, do you really want to hear, let's just say, Donkey Kong with that Australian accent? G'day, mate, look at this banana. It's not something that I want to see, Or I don't know, man. Who could have played a Hispanic actor? Who could get Luigi, who's supposed to be Italian? Or, they could have got, I don't know, some Latina to play one of the Goombas, or, or it's a tough situation. It's a different, I think you're kind of overdoing it, though. There does need to be more representation for Latino. I do believe that. He's got a good cause going. But just to say, you're not going to watch this movie because there's no Latinos in there, it's a little bit much, I think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me know. Send me an email. Put it in the comments.
It's a me, Mario.
Moving on to the next one. Another video game franchise that could get a movie. Legendary Entertainment has secured an exclusive license to live-action film and TV rights for the iconic Capcom video game franchise Street Fighter. Well, first of all, if they don't have Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm out. I'm not gonna... Nah, man. This is another one that's a guilty pleasure for me. Street Fighter. Back in 1994, Street Fighter was huge. Street Fighter 2, biggest game. Everybody played Street Fighter. So, of course, when the movie was announced, I was excited. I love Van Damme. Van Damme was an excellent 90s action movie star. He doesn't have the best American accent, but he was playing the all-American Guile. Maybe, I don't know if that was the best choice or not. It wasn't. I love Van Damme. Just didn't feel right. Just didn't feel right. He did great. But no. And then that movie had its flaws. It had a lot of flaws. It had source material, and they just kind of took another direction, right? Honda's a Japanese sumo wrestler, and they replaced him with a Hawaiian sumo wrestler, I guess. Ryu is one of the big characters in a franchise, and he was sidelined. Ken was a doofus the whole movie. Blanca, the special effects, oh my god. That was a nightmare. Just haunts my dreams. No, man. Again, guilty pleasure for me. I have good memories with it just because it's Street Fighter. If you watch it today, it will not meet anybody's standards. It is such a bad movie. The ending is horrific. It's just, no. If you're a fan of Street Fighter, you probably like it because it's Street We all know it does not follow the source material. It is It's just a fun, dumb movie. It's worth a watch at least once. Anyone younger and this movie came out before your time, give it a shot. It's something to commemorate. Definitely. For this movie, there hasn't really been any details, but I would hope that Legendary can create something better than what was made in the past. They tried again with Chun-Li as the main character. Street Fighter: The Legend of Chun-Li. In 2009, they had Kristen Kruk, I think that's how you say her name. She was Lana Lang in Smallville. No, man. I ain't gonna lie. This looked absolutely horrible. Not even me, a big Street Fighter fan, even at that time still, and I liked Smallville. No, man. I had zero interest. Up to date, I have not seen that nightmare of a movie. I refuse. I don't want to see it. I don't want to. No, no, man. It bombed in the box office. Everyone that I know who have seen that movie hates it. The only person that could possibly give it a good review is probably CK. Yeah, I remember him talking about it. He's like, "Oh, it was okay." No, he lying. He lying. He lost too much hair due to that lie. He lying to me, and it's just like, bloop, bloop. For every lie that he tells me, a little piece of hair falls off of his head. And that's why he's bald right now. That's why he's got nothing up there. It's his own fault. But anyways, if you want a good Street Fighter movie, stick to animated. There's a bunch of them out there. I've seen a good chunk of them. They're fun. They're very well drawn. They're, Japanese animation. It's good, fun, animated movies. That's where I think Street Fighter shines, and I think that's where it should stay. This movie is more likely going to happen, whether I want to or not. So I can just hope that they do this movie justice. There was a long period of time back in the day where video games who got adapted into movies were trash. Starting with Super Mario, then there was Street Fighter, and Mortal Kombat. Okay, well, I really like that first one. The second one, no, garbage. Then there was, I'm forgetting the name of it, but it's like a vampire girl. What is it? Jesus, it's killing me.
A few moments later.
Blood Rain. There was a Blood Rain movie. Yeah, I forgot about that. That was crap. I remember I was skimming through the channels. I saw a little bit of it. I was like, oh, no. No. Trash. It wasn't until recently where Sonic made that first movie that kind of changed things. Video games turn into movies, and they can work. If I'm not mistaken, Sonic was the one that broke the mold, and now that's why we're seeing Mario. Now we're seeing this right here, Street Fighter. I guess so. Hopefully, with the times, new CG, new technology, they can bring this to life properly, and we won't have a repeat. I do want some cameos. Give me Van Damme, please. Please give me Van Damme. Just a cameo. That's all I ask. Love me some Street Fighter.
General Bison, he's a bad guy. If you know this, then why do you serve him?
Because he paid me a freaking fortune, you moron.
You got paid?
Keeping things family friendly. We have another reboot in the works, and this time it's a live action Moana movie starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Man, The Rock has hit rock bottom. Well, pun intended. He hasn't had the best of luck these last couple years. He was headstrong with Black Adam. That didn't do great. I personally like the movie myself, but it doesn't fit in with James Gunn's new DC moving forward. And well, basically he got canned from that role. There might be a slim chance that he could come back to it at some point, but it's not looking good for now. Not only that, but he had some beef with Vin Diesel, and he left the Fast and Furious franchise. That's gone. Jumanji 3 is happening, but Kevin Hart doesn't want to do any more after that, so that franchise is more or less done. He's got nothing right now. I feel like he had to take a swing with something big. Moana was a huge hit. Kids love it. Adults love it. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's a great movie. It's catchy. The songs in it, they're great, man. I sing some of that to my kids. It's it's fun. It's a good movie. It's visually beautiful. Great movie. They want to do a live action reimagining of the story. So more or less it's not going to be the exact same, but probably key highlights, big moments, very, very similar story. Again, I love The Rock, and I love this movie, but this movie just came out in 2016. That was just 7 years ago? It's still a new movie. I mean, I thought they were working on Moana 2, if I'm being honest. And Disney has recently been doing a lot of their older movies, right, into live action. They did the Cinderella, they did Beauty and the Beast, they did The Lion King, they did Pinocchio, also garbage. Peter Pan's coming out, Little Mermaid's coming out. Then we're going to work on Bambi. Oh, I forgot about Dumbo. But those are older, much, much older movies. A reboot, was okay. It was fine. It was time. But Moana's 7 years old. Bro, come on. I just feel like The Rock is reaching for straws. He needs a home run. And I don't know, maybe this was just easy pickings, and I'm probably still going to watch it. I ain't going to lie. But I just think it's too soon. Very, very much too soon. Whatever. It's going to happen. So we'll just wait and see what happens. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe it's another hit, or maybe it's another banger. Good luck. We're going to stick to the topic about reboots. That's our reappearing theme today. Because now, another franchise getting the reboot treatment. Harry Potter. Harry Potter is getting the HBO Max TV series treatment. Not so long ago, the author of the Harry Potter books, J.K. Rowling, has gotten herself in some deep,
great mighty poo.
She has been vocal on Twitter. I'm not going to get into it, but she's gotten herself in some hot water. She's got her opinions on a certain group of people, and that's her opinion. But a lot of other actors in Hollywood, a lot of people in Hollywood don't agree with her. And that's fine. People are going to fight. People aren't going to agree all the time, which is causing trouble in the Harry Potter franchise, though. Long story short, J.K. Rowling went off on the transgender community on Twitter, and lots of actors in Hollywood, lots of directors no longer want to associate themselves with her. Man, it's even the recent video game that just came out, Hogwarts Legacy. Big outrage. Like, people were boycotting it, just wanted to do nothing to do with it. Apparently there were reports where people were playing live and streaming it, and people in the comments were just shitting on these streamers for playing the game. I mean, it's a huge thing. It's a horrible situation, because it's not the franchise's fault, right? It's just her and her opinions, but this franchise is suffering for it. I think the main argument behind it is that the franchise should not profit off of it because she's getting paid for it, right? And, people don't want to reward her and whatnot. And, it is what it is. But anyways, let's get back to the beef of the Harry Potter franchise here. The first movie came out in 2001. There are a total of 8 Harry Potter movies with Daniel Radcliffe. And that last one came out in 2011. Now, that was like 12 years ago. Is it time for a reboot? I don't know, man. See, I think for me personally, there wasn't a lot of breathing room for the Harry Potter movies, because immediately after that last one, they started working on the Fantastic Beasts movies. I did not like those. I did watch the first one. I hated it. And, I didn't watch the other two. But those were released fairly recently, with the latest one releasing just last year in 2022. So in my head, It's like it started in 2001, and then every couple years there's been a Harry Potter movie, and like to me it's still like fresh. It's still that same world. It's still the same universe, staying alive. So when I saw this, as a reboot for Harry Potter, I'm kind of like, no, it's still new, but it's really not. I'm conflicted, man. I don't know if I want this reboot to happen. If it happens, it happens. I've got no word in it, right? But I just don't know how to feel about it. And not to mention that there was beef again, right? J.K. Rowling with this whole situation. It started off with, mostly it was Emma Watson, Hermione, right? Like, she was definitely not on board with J.K. Rowling, especially if she was involved. And Daniel Radcliffe also was being difficult, coming back for another movie that were trying to bring to work. It was like The Cursed Child, something like that. You'll have to forgive me, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan. I do like the movies, right? The first 8, but I definitely did not read the books or anything like that. Just the movie. But yeah, they were trying to bring that Cursed Child one, and Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe, they were just not having it. Hopes and dreams for this movie happening down the drain. Just nope. And Emma Watson, she's not shy about it. She's not wanting to make it happen. So for this movie to happen, they were asking J.K. Rowling to sell her ownership of the property, and she was asking for an absurd amount of money. Just all the money. I couldn't find how much that was. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. I just couldn't find it. But however, that deal didn't go through either. What ended up happening was they settled on a Reboot TV series produced by HBO Max. Now, HBO Max recently has been on fire. They got The Last of Us. They did a good job with it. I almost said great. For what they did, though, it was great. Maybe they got another banger in them. Maybe they can make Harry Potter a really good series. Of course, it's going to be a completely recasting. New actors, a new Harry Potter, new Hermione, new Ron, everybody. And apparently, each book is going to be a season. So book 1, season 1. Season 2, book 2. Season 3, onward and onward. So 7 seasons, more or less. Maybe get that Cursed Child as the 8th one. I mean, it's going to be no different, really, than the first 8 movies. It's going to be a long process. Every year we're going to have Harry Potter content. So, yeah, it is a complete reboot, but they're telling the same story. I mean, do you really want to watch the first movie broken down into, 12 episodes? That's... I don't know. Are they milking it? Is there enough information in there to flesh out tiny details that were left out in the original movie? Like, I really don't know. If you're a huge Harry Potter fan, what do you think? Do you think this is a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Are you excited to watch this?
You're saying it wrong. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Ah, Leviosa.
Moving on to the last article of the day. We're going to talk some Marvel news. The Fantastic Four. It's happening, right? Marvel acquired the rights. Kevin Feige, the head of Marvel, the man, he has stated in the past that he is a big fan of the Fantastic Four. He wants this movie to land. He wants it to slap. Is that what the kids are saying these days? They slap? Yeah. Just trying it out. Yeah. So anyways, Fantastic Four. They had previously hired 2 writers to work on a script, which was Jeff Kaplan and Ian Springer. Now, these 2 guys don't have a big name, okay? They worked on something called Disaster Wedding, which apparently did fairly well. It's a comedy, and they're up and coming, right? That's great. Marvel was giving these 2 guys a chance. Apparently, it did not land. It did not the way that Marvel was hoping. I don't know if they were trying to save a few bucks by hiring these lesser known names. but it kind of, I'm not going to say backfired on him, because the writer that they hired is Josh Friedman. Was hired to enhance the script that exists now. Okay, so they're going to use the previous script as bare bones outline maybe, and Josh Friedman's going to clean it up. He's going to make it grander. It's his job to make it bigger and better and expand on it. Now, who is Josh Friedman? Well, he worked on the Avatar, Way of the Water, which is the sequel to the first Avatar movie, just came out earlier this year. Huge movie. He also worked on Snowpiercer. He also wrote the Sarah Connor Chronicles, which is a very highly underrated Terminator television series back in 2008, which, man, I thought it was great. It had some flaws, yes, but it was a very cool side story. It did its own thing separate from the movies. I enjoyed it. The drama was cool. The action was cool. It stayed closer to the source, more or less. You know, of course, again, they do their own thing, but they use a lot of, stuff from the existing movies. Not only that, but it shows that Josh Friedman is experienced with like different timelines, different side stories. So you could even say a multiverse, right? He also worked on Terminator Dark Fate. Not my favorite Terminator movie. There's some highlights in there. There's some good stuff in there. Not my favorite Terminator movie. But I'm going to lean on he knows how to write dramatic stuff. He's very good at that. So to bring in someone like that, Josh Friedman, he could potentially bring the drama that was missing from the original script. I'm not saying that the original script was bad. Again, Marvel has stated that they hired him on to enhance it, right? So I think that he's just going to, add that extra spice. That's what he's going to do. He's going to make it flavorful, a little spicy. Again, Marvel, Kevin Feige, they want Fantastic Four to be a home run. It has to be a home run. Brand new characters finally in the Marvel universe, they have to succeed. There's no just an okay script, a mediocre script. They have to hit hard. So I think it's a good idea. Give the Fantastic Four every chance to succeed. I do hope this does not push back production, because if not, then it's going to fall on the CGI studio. The CGI, the special effects, in these last few films, they've been slacking, and these effects have not looked their best. Let's just hope that's not going to be the case for Fantastic Four. Hopefully they'll have the time that they need to properly work on this film. And let's just hope for the best. In this same article here in Murphy's Universe, it is also stated that the Thunderbolts movie is getting a new writer. Beef's Lee Sung-jin. If I mispronounced that, I am sorry. But apparently he is jumping on board to help write that script. And it says here that some may not remember, but this is a very much pre-pandemic Marvel movie. Outside of a handful of writers, they had a variety of people work on the scripts before releasing a film. So perhaps something for the quality over quantity control. And again, I think that's great news. Give these side characters a proper movie to shine, not just a throwaway like the first Suicide Squad movie. That was whatever, right? It's a throwaway. Who cares about it? The best thing that happened out of that was Harley Quinn. But anyways, this being basically the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad, let these characters shine. A lot of them are pretty cool characters. Let them rewrite it. Let them rework things. Have it fit properly into the current Marvel universe and let it succeed. Don't put out a half donkeys movie like Black Widow was, and that I'm kind of crapping on it because that was supposed to be released long before it actually did, but pandemic kind of screwed that over. And even then, the movie was not amazing, in my opinion. It was okay, but not amazing. If it came out in theaters, I probably would not have watched it. That's just my opinion. If you feel differently, that's cool. But that's just my thought on it. Bring a good writer in, rework everything, give it the opportunity to succeed. Marvel taking this new approach to put quality back into their product. I think it's needed. They need to go back to their roots and produce good movies. Because if not, man, the fans, the people who they are trying to cater to are going to fight back. They're just not going to go watch these movies. These studios just need to put out quality. It's we don't want quantity, we want quality. So I think that's where we're going to end it today, and that would be the end of the Muse.
Hey everybody, it's closing time. You don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
A little bit of an announcement. Normally we would play Bro Etiquette, we would do mail, we do something fun. However, going forward, we're going to split it up a little bit. We're going to spread out the content. For example, we'll keep the Muse on Mondays, and then we're going to do Bro Etiquette, I think maybe on the weekend. Haven't decided just yet. We'll find out in a few days. And also, there might be a new segment coming soon. We're still trying to work out the kinks, but we're going to try and do something fun. Run movie lines, as if we're the actors. We're going to act out some scenes from some of our favorite movies, and I think it'll be fun. Some of these movies, like for example, I've seen, but Guns hasn't. And I'm just going to throw them under the bus and be like, here's your lines. Let's go through the scene. And it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be chaotic. It should be fun. Come check it out. I think that might release in the middle of the week. That way you can spread the love, have more to listen to. I think it'll be good. But anyways, make sure you stick around. If you like the kind of content that we're putting out, go ahead, hit that subscribe, follow us. We'd really appreciate you. We're glad to have you with us. And with that being said, email me at bogusbird@theesfiles.com, crazycat@theesfiles.com, guns@theesfiles.com, and Agent Cucko@theesfiles.com. Any questions, comments, suggestions, and also be sure check us out at www.theesfiles.com, where you can listen to all our previous episodes, Muse, Bro Etiquette, mail, laughs, fun. It's a good time. Go check us out, and when you're done with that, you can also follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, kind of TikTok. We're kind of shadow banned right now, so you may not be able to find us, but you can find us on YouTube. Put a face to the voice and come watch us. It's a different experience. But if you're on the go and you need something to listen to, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Wherever you listen to your podcast, there's a pretty good chance that we are there. This is Bogus Bird signing out, and we'll catch you on the next one.